This call is now being recorded.
Okay, so welcome back. So today we're going to do consumer maths chapter. I think I can see, yeah, can see the chat box. So let me share my screen. Okay, so what I'm going to do today is going to be actually consumer maths. So you see, I've prepared this thing. So just a quick question. Can you see my screen?
Yes, can.
Yes, can.
Nice. Clear, everything can see nicely. Okay, nice. So today we are going to learn part 3.1 of consumer maths. So if you're talking about part 3.1 means you are talking about savings and investment based on your Form 3 textbook. Like you can refer your textbook is better because everything I'm talking here is based on the textbook because that's our main reference for SPM basically. So before I want to go to the textbook, I have some like an ice breaking session. So if you want to, can you tell anything that comes to your mind first when I say about consumer maths? What's any one word that can come to your mind? Some more people coming.
Money.
Money.
Oh, two people say the same thing. Money. Other things, other words. Anything you can think about consumer maths.
Interest rate,
Interest rate.
Huh?
interest rate.
Interest rate.
Yeah, good. So it can be more than one word also. Yeah. Any others? Others want to try? You can actually, you don't need to use the words here, lah, but you can tell any word that comes to your mind besides money. You want to see how far you understand about consumer maths. Profit. That's a very good term, just as invited. Means you know one part that is very important. The exam, they always ask you to calculate the return on investment based on certain what like down payment and other things you have to calculate your total return. Then from there your capital gain, and when you plus both of that, you find your return on investment. So that's a good thing he highlighted there. Real estate, yeah, good. So that's what we're living in now, house practically. So real estate is a more complex term lah for house. So yeah, good thing, landed properties. So what else? You can even recall your chapters credit, debit. Yeah, good. That is the second subtopic, part 3.2. You can also say insurance and taxation because that one also comes under what this whole thing about consumer maths. Because consumer maths, you must realize it involves the consumer. That's why they call it consumer maths. Means it's talking about us. That's one thing you need to realize. So it's we who are purchasing, and we need to know what is the mathematics applied for us to solve certain daily application. So this is one of the chapter that is really useful to our daily life, but sometimes people think it's boring because of the theory part. So why not we go through it together and see whether does it help you or not, this one. So now's the starting already. So first thing, let's see this one. So this is what we're going to focus on today, savings and investment. So what you're going to learn from this chapter is your savings and investment can help you to manage your finance. So yeah, that's a important thing because as we know now, many teenagers are going broke nowadays. So that is why they introduce this chapter in your SPM so that you know how to manage your finance here before you go to the outside world. So it's a good thing they put here. Not actually this chapter is more favorable for the account students because it's more relatable to accounts or economics, but they put it in the modern math syllabus to give the exposure to the science students, which they didn't have because we don't take accounts. Only the arts team take accounts. So that's the thing here. So I think this is a good move for Solar. They put this here. So concept of saving and investment is used in banking, stocks. How common are questions? Good question. So yeah, later you will see. I'll give you a few example questions later on the slides. So yeah, as you said, it should. So it is very commonly to be found in objective only. Paper two, your theory they won't ask. They will ask you calculate only mainly. So yeah, objective less calculation, more theory. So that's why this one is important. So just a few things you need to know only. So let's go to the keywords. Okay, so these are the common terms that you might see in this chapter. So let's go to it. So first of all, you need to know what's liquidity. In VM, the term is kecairan. So liquidity is actually how easily it can be cashed out. Means the money. Means this you will see in a section where you'll compare the liquidity of the real estate, unit trust, and also the shares that you purchase in a company. So there's a different level of liquidity we are talking here. It can either be low, moderate, and high. So this is one important term here. And there you mentioned, someone mentioned, I think, about interest. So yeah, this is another key word of this chapter. So interest can be divided into two: simple interest, compound interest. So which interest do you prefer? Let me ask everyone. Do you want to be charged simple interest or compound interest? Wow, Vishal, very rich, huh? Compound? Not bad. You see the formula itself, you should know compound interest is power something, strategy. We're not talking chess here. This is maths. This one is formula of compound interest is this one. Whenever you have something power, right, your total value here is going to rise exponentially. So that's why we don't want compound interest. Simple interest, if you recall, the formula is PRT, principal amount times rate times period of investment. So you see all this is times only. So this rate is definitely going to be lower compared to your matured value rate. So that's why I said don't always hope for compound interest. That's the worst case scenario, this one. So yeah, so this is the thing here. And then next term, another person mentioned about debt. Let's see about debt. So debt means is hutang in Malay. So this one quite a common term. You see people have debts in their credit card. Sometimes they owe to the bank certain amount and then they cannot repay because they are charged the interest on top here. So yeah, that's debt basically. And then interest rate, yeah, this is how many percentage. Rate means it's always in the form of percentage, means like 3%, 4%. Commonly, I think it's 5%. Not so sure on that, but it's quite low lah for the simple interest, I think. Credit, this goes with debt, credit and debt management. So credit is like your credit card. Investment is Palaba one. So investment you can do in many things. You can invest in a house, invest in a car, many other things as well. So sometimes they say you can also invest in your health actually. So health also is a good health is a type of investment as well, like we speak abstract like that. So another one, loan. So if you talk about loan is from the bank. Usually we get it from the bank. Means you will borrow certain amount of money from the bank, where the bank will also charge you interest. They're not going to just let you borrow that money and just go and use it. They're going to definitely charge this interest to you, or else they won't make the profit. Right? So another one, personal loan. I think this is the one we use, personal loan. Then return, yeah, that one is something like your return on investment. Means you want to see return. Actually, you can calculate to the formula of total rent plus capital gain. You can see later. Later, inform me. My handwriting is too bad. Until you cannot do it, don't just be silent there. Everyone okay so far? If the pace is too fast, you must tell. Good, okay. So that's the formula you will use here. And savings, savings is actually defined as the excess amount of money. So when you have excess amount of money, you can save it. So that's what you call by saving. Sometimes they can ask you a definition like this in your paper one. What is meant by saving? So the keyword is excess amount of money. Okay, yeah, so that's done. So now we go to the proper subtopic of it. So yeah, first thing they say, what are savings and investments? So savings refer to the excess money, this is the keyword here, deposited in the safe, money box or drawer. Usually in the bank, I think they have something called like a safe room or something where you keep your precious stuff. That's something you can think of. You can find it, but that one is only for parents who want to take back their precious things like jewelry, all that. So extra money can also deposited at the bank, of course. So you see our parents go to bank always, so they will get returns based on interest rate and saving period. So this is why I call, see they get the returns. Returns is the simple interest here, and you see it depends on the interest rate, which is R, and T, which is the saving period. So this is the formula applied here, simple interest. So there are some common ways of saving. So let's see. So now we're going to go through types of saving account. So I think you should know already. How many types we have? I asked everyone totally. If you can recall your Form 3 knowledge, how many types of account we have? 3, very good. So what are they? The other one, besides these two, what's the name of the other account? Current, yeah, very good. Means you remember your Form 3 well. So sales we go savings account. This one. So savings account holder can save any amount. So there's no limitation to the amount he can save. So it depends on how much he has in the first place. Of course, based on his spending habits and saving habits. So account holder receives interest rate. So this is the benefit of this account based on total amount of savings and interest period. Total amount of savings is also known as principal amount, if you wanted to know. In your formula of PLT, this is your P. And savings period is your T. So interest rate is your R. I mean I, not R, sorry. So one low point, this is the low point of current account. So interest rates are actually lower when compared to fixed deposit account. So that's why most people actually opt for a savings account because of this advantage. It can be withdrawn at any time, but the low side to it is the interest rate is lower. So your total money accumulated over a certain period of time, let's say we save for 5 years in savings and also 5 years in fixed deposit, this one is going to get a lower amount, but this is going to get a higher amount because we know that I is PLT. If I constant P and constant T, let's say my interest rate is higher for your FD, generally your I is going to be higher as well, your interest accumulated. So that's what I'm telling you. If we assume these two are same, that's the assumption I make here. So that's the downside of savings account. But the upside is you can withdraw anytime you like. So that's the thing most people want in the end, although their money might not accumulate that much. So it can actually be withdrawn via debit or ATM machine. So that's one info as well. So yeah, any questions about savings account? We done already with savings account. Like anything you can ask. Wow, thumbs up, huh? Not bad. Later we'll see in the question. Okay, so next one is fixed deposit. So fixed deposit, the thing here is it saves a certain amount of money for a certain period of time. So you can save it for 3 months, 9 months, or 1 year. So there's a fixed time where you can withdraw and also get back the money. Whereas whereas the what? What's that account name again? Savings account, you can actually withdraw it at any possible time. But this one, it has a fixed period, 3 months, 9 months, or 12 months. So this one, account holders will be offered more competitive interest. So it's a higher interest rate. So you'll get more money. So you see, savings cannot be withdrawn. This is the downside before the maturity date. So there's a specified date that you can withdraw only. So the money is withdrawn before maturity. So this one is you langgar the Plato one lah. So this one, the actual interest rate that will be received will be reduced and cancelled. So you're going to rugi also at the end. So savings certificate will be issued to the account holder. So this one got a certificate lah to show you when you withdraw and what's the amount and all that. So yeah, so that's fixed deposit. So far okay, fixed deposit. Okay, good, not bad. So next one is current account. Okay, so anyone can tell me first, who holds actually current account? The type of people that hold it. Yeah, you can say companies, organizations, yeah, correct, like businesses and merchants also. These are the rich people we call. So these people are eligible to own the current account. But we cannot, of course, normal people will opt for savings or fixed deposit only. So savings in current account can be used for personal or business purpose. So this one we are talking about business here. So the account holder may make payment to another party by check. Usually they use check. So why don't they just use the normal money and pay to the other party? Anyone can tell the reason? Why the current account holders they use check? Correct, large sum, yeah. Very large sum. If you carry such a large sum, it is going to endanger the current account holder, not benefit him actually, because he might get robbed in the streets or whatever. So yeah, this is why they want check. And the next thing is savings in the account will not be paid interest. You see, this is a not be paid interest and subjected service charges. So this disadvantage. Sometimes interest, right? Don't get confused. Interest can also mean good and bad. There's good interest, there's also bad interest. Depends where is your point of view or who you are when you're receiving that interest. So you need to be careful also. So there are banks that pay interest to current account holders subject to the bank. Current account must submit referral. Yeah, this all is the extra things. This one is not so important. Only the top parts here are important basically. So normal withdrawals are usually allowed. Debit cards, yeah, that one all is normal things. So far okay. This one done already. This page. Wow, good. Not bad. So next one we go. Wow, got love sign some more. Next one is, let's see, investment. Now we come to the second part. You know the subtopic name was saving and investment, right? We done the saving. Now we're going to go to the investment. So what is investment? It's an alternative step for future returns. So this is what we are looking for. Investment, we always look, sometimes it's long term. Sometimes it also can be short term. If you studied your Form 4 Chapter 10, right, your modern maths, we talk about what was it, the SMART concept, I think you can recall. We will talk about long-term financial goals and short-term financial goals. So this investment can be seen from both perspectives also. Depends what you want. Let's say you want to buy a car. Car might be long-term for you because it's quite a lot of money. You need to save monthly for you to achieve that goal. Or let's say, what's a short-term goal? Can anyone give an example short-term goal? Something maybe quite achievable in a short period of time. Don't say you want to buy an iPhone, huh? Anyone can think of a short-term goal. Buy a bike, okay, reasonable, yeah. It's quite reasonable if you have the means, yeah. It's a good example. Smart. What type of smartphone you telling about? Cheaper ones, okay, lucky you said that. Yeah. So you can also. So that depends actually on your situation from your point of view, whether it's short term or long term. You can't just like categorize generally for the whole population. So now let's go to the types. So first type we are going to look at is okay, we're going to see about shares now. So shares, this one usually we talk about company shares, remember that. That's why sometimes people in a company will invest so that they can get back the interest from the shares. But of course, but shares, it depends on the share market as well. The share market will always fluctuate, means the average cost per share unit can go up and down drastically. Later, there's a calculation also you will learn. I think it's cost averaging strategy, I think. Of course, I won't touch the calculation part today. Now, let's go very long. But you can look this up in your textbook, I think. It allows you to find the average cost per share unit. So this is what is the share market. So it has its risk as well because it can drop drastically, can also increase drastically. So it depends on that time when you invest. Is it good situation or bad situation? So all that you need to see on your own. So raising capital, purchase shares, you must purchase it under certain conditions. And shareholders are these the returns. So the returns are in the form of dividend and capital gain. So yeah, dividend is basically in the form of percentage also you can calculate. Means let's say 5% dividend of the average cost per share unit times the number of share units you buy. So that's how we calculate dividend. Capital gain basically is all your expenses like loan amortized and all those things. You will minus it off with your property that you buy. Basically, what's the cost of your property? So that is your gain in the end. So that's the first part. So next one we'll look at it is this one, unit trust. So unit trust is controlled by unit trust company, managed by qualified professional manager. Not anyone can take the responsibility for this unit trust. Must be qualified in the field of investment. Those who have no knowledge or can get help from these people, of course. And they collect money from investors and provide returns that benefit the investor. So yeah, this is about unit trust. Nothing much actually, yeah. So far okay? Everyone still okay? Okay, good. Anytime you want to stop me, you can open your mic and ask question also if you want. Don't be shy. Next, real estate. So real estate is what you're living in now, basically. So real estate is immovable assets. It's an asset, remember, real estate. So it's such as residential house, shop, land, anything that's landed property, basically, and other investments in real estate. Okay, so this one, investors should consider various aspects before investing. Can anyone tell me what are the aspects? There are three actually. What factors can affect the person to choose or not whether he should invest? This one is under one section in your textbook also. There's three factors, I think. Anyone know? No, very general aspects in a country. You can recall your sejarah. What's the three important aspects in sejarah that they always talk about? That's the clue here. Social, yeah, social will come under location. The location of the house is the important thing. Economy, yeah, correct. Yeah, location. One more. Malaysia very famous for one more. One more aspect. Come on, your Malaysians, think. Start with P. Food? What does food got to do with investing on real estate? P, start with P. Not price. Position. Not really, no. Famous in Sejarah, they always talk what start with P. I thought this was going to be the first answer you will come out with. This one, political situation. You do know that political situation can also affect whether you can buy or not the property, because if it's unstable, most likely the prices is going to affect your economy as well. All these factors are interrelated. So like if one thing goes wrong, the other will also be affected. So it's a flow chain like that, like a dominoes effect. So yeah, that's the three factors you must see before buying real estate. Hey, it's actually here, the economic situation, income generating, location, property prospect. They didn't say politics here, no wonder you didn't tell it. It's actually one more factor as well. So invest in real estate will get return in form of rent and capital gain. So just now I told you the formula, return is total rent plus capital gain. So this applies to real estate. So that's how you solve. If they ask you to find the return on investment later on. So yeah, this is this slide, I think. We finish here. So far, okay. So now we go to the exercises. So now your turn after I talk. So now you choose the question and solve. Just nice. Got three people here, three people answer. So who want to take 1, 2, and 3? Or else I'll tell who take number 1, number 2, and number 3. It's a general question only, not calculation. Kuan 1, number 2, okay. Then Jesh and Vishal, you can choose either 1 or 3 between yourselves. Number 1 looks easier. I'll go for 3, okay? Can? Yeah. So Jesh automatically number 1 lah. So you can start now. If you can type your answer in the chat box, or you can open your mic as well lah. Easier for you. What's the purpose of individual savings? Quite general actually. Don't need to refer anywhere. So this one you can do kalangan already with this topic. Yeah, this one is actually kalangan topic. You save up for a certain thing. Yeah, correct. So what's that certain thing you're talking about? Be more specific. Number 3, low interest. Yeah, correct. Good. That's a good point. You can brainstorm more. Also hard to manage, more funds to pay. Yeah, correct. Also, yeah, good. So, Jesh, any more suggestion? Like we can save up for both your needs and your wants. Yeah, correct. Good. Yeah, I think that's quite good points as well. So let me share other points as well for your one. So this one, I think the last objective only. You won't need to huraikan panjang lebar this one. So let me see. Mind test 3.18. Okay, so another suggestion. Wait, you tell some more things. Wants, yeah, correct. So giving example of needs and wants, good. So for your question, Jess, so you say for well-planned life in the future, okay, that's something about what you said. For emergency use, that's what you said, save up for certain things. And also it can act as additional income. Because you remember the definition of savings, right? It's an excess amount that you save in the money box or anything. So it's an additional savings as well. It's a good point to use as well. So for Vishal, number C, checks are commonly used by business women for payments in large amounts. Yeah, you said that. And yeah, another thing is most people only make money in small amount. So small amount can be very subjective. It depends what you consider a small amount. So maybe in this case they consider, let's say 6K a small amount maybe, but for you it might mean a big amount. I don't know. So quite subjective this one. So your turn, Kuan, or number 2. I would suggest my father to invest in savings account. It's because money. Be more specific with your savings account thing. What type of account do they need? Yeah, compound interest, good. What's the name of the account? I want to think that's the keyword. Just now we call 3 accounts. I think current account. That one was savings. Go one more. That's the one. I think the one is FD account. You forgot this one. Remember FD? Fixed deposit account. Because the keyword here is long time. Remember, long time means they have a repayment period like 3 months, 9 months, or the 1 year. Just now I showed the info there. So that's why we save it in FD. So FD account is a type of savings account. You're right as well. So just to be more specific only. So yeah, these are the 3 questions. So you passed the first test, everyone. So congrats. So more tests to come. So next one. So far okay, yeah. Before I move on to the next part. Okay, good. So next, benefits of savings. So interest for savings and rewards are paid by, okay, the one. So now here, these are the 2 types of interest we'll be learning today, simple and compound interest. So that's the main focus for this subtopic actually, and it'll come out usually in the exam. So let's look at simple interest first. Simple interest, a reward given to depositor at a certain rate. So rate is in the form of percentage always. This is your R value in your formula. And deposit amount principal, this is your P, and period of time T. So indirectly here, they already told you that the formula for simple interest is PLT. And one common mistake that people make is when they ask you what's the total amount, don't just find your I value, total amount. I value is just telling you how much interest you get. So you need to plus back with your principal amount to find the total amount. So that's one catch where they can trick you. So if you want, you can modify the formula. It will come like this: P plus PLT for total amount. And if you realize as well, you have seen this formula. I think this is in one of the formula sheet as well in your modern maths exam. They will tell you total repayment. So it's the same thing actually. Total repayment is basically this formula over here. So that's why they plus back with the P. So to find the total, whenever they say total means you have to plus back. So that's a keyword here. So yeah, it's basically simple interest. So next we look at compound interest. The compound will be slightly more complex, but no need to worry. Let's see, compound interest. So simple interest all okay, yeah? Very short only. Okay, good. Vishal, where your other mates? All hilang already, ah? So many in the group there. All no reply. I still got time. Tell them how whether it's useful or not. Okay, next. Compound interest. So compound interest, so how we calculate it is this way. Based on the original principle. Because wait, let me continue first. Original principle and also the accumulated interest from the previous period of savings. So they'll depend on the previous years to find the total compound interest. So that's why we call it accumulated interest. So usually they'll use the symbol MV. MV is matured value. That's how you find this is basically your compound interest actually. So you'll continue to add up. So you can see directly to the calculation here. Because one's the only one part. So let's see in the first year, this is the amount of money. 8,000 times 3 over 100, you get 240. So basically, this is your principal, this is your rate. And you don't need to times anything. Of course, this is the first year. Times 1, you get the same value as well, 240. So this is your interest. So at the end of the first year, what your total saving is, you're going to plus this 240 thing with 8,000. So that's how you get your 8240. So that's your formula of simple interest basically. So second year, so now you see this is how it doubles up. So the amount of saving used is 8240, which is the principal plus the first year interest I said. So they're going to use second year, they're going to use this money instead of starting back with 8,000. So you see this is how the money goes up, or else you will still get the same value of 240. But you see a difference here, there's a difference of 720. Might look small, but actually it can amount to a lot in the end when you keep on timesing and adding. So that's how your money accumulate actually. So you don't see the thing happening underneath. So that's how it looks like. So you see second year, you see your plus with this one. So this becomes your principal now for second year. That's how you see suddenly you get 8487 when you started with only 8,000. So you see it's almost 400 plus increase for compound interest. So that's the advantage of compound interest. So you can see an exponential increase in the amount. So yeah, that's compound interest. So all okay? Compound interest? Good. So next, this one. Anyone want to talk about this? Anyone expert in this? Why, sir? Suddenly? Why? For the compound interest formula, yeah. Hold on, Kuan. This one's in part of the textbook as well. So I just put that out. They might ask you. What is the N and T components again? Oh, you're talking about the formula. N is your number of times compounded. T is the period in years. Means basically your number of times compounded is you will take 12 over your how many times you compounded. 12 because 12 months is 1 year. So usually they compound every like 3 months. So let's say 12 over 3, you get 4. So that is your number of times compounded. Means 4 times of 3 months, you get 12 months in the end. So 12 over 3, you get 4. What does it mean to compound it? Compound is something like just think of a normal parking compound. They charge you a fee like that. That is something like compound. Means the general word lah. You understand it through the meaning itself. Just charge an amount, just a fancy word for it lah. Basically, just to show it's something more than just simple interest. Or else, what's the difference between simple and compound? That's why they use the word compound to sound more like bigger amount. So yeah. So next thing is about Islamic banking. This one I don't know lah, but I just put just in case if they ask, because it's in the textbook as well. So I just need to know a bit of it only, nothing much. So so this is the dual banking system if you didn't see before. So one of it is the conventional banks. So if you drive around Penang, you will see like let's say Affin Bank, right? There's one just normal Affin Bank, but one on the side here they put Affin Islamic. We have seen before. Does anyone notice this? I think got somewhere near McAllister Road. Got Affin and also Affin Islamic. So this is what we call as dual banking system actually. It's two separate buildings for the same purpose actually. So yeah, this is your dual banking system actually. So what are the components here? So first of all, it's based on the Islamic law of Sharia. No, nothing much. It's not nothing. So it's based on the principle of justice, halal, and profit sharing without usuri. So later I think they talk about what's the meaning of usuri. So does not specify rate of return on early stage. The real rate of return is known upon maturity. So yeah, these are a few characteristics only. I don't think it's that important for you at this point. But just in case, just read these characteristics. Nothing much to explain from here actually. Unless I own an Islamic bank and I can tell you more. La. So it's not nothing much actually. Don't worry about it. So next one. So far okay, yeah. The only thing you need to know about dual banking system is you think about like Afin and Afin Islamic. So that's how it looks like. So yeah. I close this thing. Then only I can. Okay, yeah. I see your reaction. Then only I know. Okay, just yes. Okay, means we continue. So next one. What do you understand about ROI? This one we just now someone said. I think it was just what is ROI. So ROI. So this is the definition here. Sometimes they'll ask you. So it's the return value of each ringgit. Means per RM1. What is the return value invested by the investor? So it's in other words, you can say it's the ratio of profit or loss divide from an investment. So the balance is basically your return on investment because we are going to take the initial value of the house and the capital gain, and you're going to minus each other to find what is your capital gain in the end. So that's why we call it the profit or loss. Usually it's going to be positive value, or else how can you find your return of investment? Because it's in the form of percentage. So we need the positive value to get the percentage. So usually you should get positive unless very bad your investment until it occur a loss which is greater than the profit, then gone lah. No return lah basically. So yeah. Next thing, let's see. Okay, so this one's the important part. How you calculate return on investment. So it's based on total return. So total return here, if you're talking about real estate, is total rent plus capital gain. I'll just expand the formula for you here. Over. So why you call sir? Call bro lah. So all these formulas we given in SPM. This one, I'm not sure. I can check for you. Let me see for a while. SPM. There is a section, I think. Okay, you can check actually. Any trial papers that you do, you can see in the front itself. There should be a section for consumer mathematics. Yeah, correct. Some will be given. This one, I'm not sure. Maybe you can find out and see. So, yeah. Worst case comes to worst, just memorize this thing. It's quite a simple thing, just something or something times 100. So you just need to see your calculation part in the textbook, then you will understand why the formula is like this. Of course, times 100% is because you want to see this in form of percentage. Of course, this one over this one is your ratio of your profit or loss. That's what they told earlier in this part over here. So that's how you see it basically. So next, unit trust. So let me see. In addition, investors also, let me see if this is important or not. Yeah, no need. We go straight to unit trust. So unit trust is a good investment, 3 to 5 years usually. So it's 3 to 5 years, and long term is over 5 years. So they are low risk. So this one key thing. Usually they'll ask you to compare the risk level of different investment. Like just now we saw was it real estate or what was it? Let me see again. Just now we saw was or something like that. I think you can recall. So this one is low risk. So it's managed by professional fund manager and is monitored by Bank Negara. So all these unit trust companies will report to Bank Negara and then so they are below all this. So allow investors to diversify the investments with small capital. Small capital is like small amount invested basically. So they can diversify the investment. This is a good thing. Always in life we must diversify our investment because if one investment goes bad, we always have backup rather than putting large amount of money in one and hoping for a good thing to come out of it. That's why we need to apply this concept of diversify. Many things also we need to diversify actually. So yeah, it's a good concept. So next one, real estate. So this is the third type, I think. So real estate, again, we call the returns are in the form of rent and capital gain always because you can rent real estates like this one. You want to rent an apartment, also can, anything. So the property will receive return. So the return is in the form of rent. That's why the total return is the total rent plus capital gain. So that's why the formula is like that. So we'll receive capital gain or capital loss. So this depends whether you get profit or not. So what's the real estate here we're talking about? So far, okay, everyone? I'm gathering the pace a bit. Okay, good. Later we'll see questions more interesting. So now we see land. Okay, land, the returns are in the form of rental and capital gain. Same. So all these are the same basically. House, commercial lots, so all these are actually types of real estate. They're showing you the types of real estate. So the returns are all same. As long real estate, we will expect it to be rent and capital gain always. So this is just a summary for you. So that's how it looks like. So next. Okay, so these were the factors I was talking about. Some quite important. So there are factors that affect the return of investment. So we know that ROI was actually total return over the initial investment times 100. So we know that ROI is going to be dependent on your total return and initial investment. What are these two dependent on? They are dependent on these factors actually. Economy, location. So the money that comes in depends whether these factors are in good place or not. So yeah, so let's read a bit. So economic situation, I think I don't need to tell more about it here. How's the economic situation in our country? You all know better. So it will increase the real estate prices because demand of real estate will increase. I think Penang is a good example. That's why most people will buy house in mainland because it's cheaper, not on the island. Because island now we know it's getting more expensive, so higher cost of living. So that's why we know that the ROI will drop. It should drop in Penang lah on the island. So that's how it affects. So location, where your house is located also is important. So you see, if there's in a developed city center, it should have higher prices than rural area, of course, lah, because facilities. So this is the social aspect we're talking about. Everyone wants good facilities. So that's why they said here we'll have a higher cost, developed city center, like Georgetown, lah. If you're living in Georgetown now, so yeah, it's a higher cost, of course. So next, political situation will increase demand for real estate. So if it's stable, but if political instability, so this one is like if war times, when we what if you study sejarah the earlier like Perang Dunia Kedua, all that. So definitely that time is politically unstable. So for political situation, your ROI also will drop. That's why we saw many people homeless during that times, if you remember your sejarah. So that's the thing here. So far, okay. This one I can talk more because it's like more general, yeah. So yeah, hope you understand this one. So next. What factors should be considered before making investment? Okay, so this is the three aspects I wanted to highlight. So you have to look at the potential investment risk, level of return, and liquidity. So level of return is how much money you get or profit. Liquidity is how easily it can be cashed out. And potential risk is uncertainty that may incur. So always we are living with uncertainties. So we have to make our choice wisely, of course. So yeah. So this is the table that they can ask you. Quite famous in exam, this one. So this one you can understand it, don't just memorize. Let's see. Savings. So risk level is risk free. I think that's quite general, unless someone is going to rob the bank and steal your money. So other than that, it should be risk free because the security is tight. Fixed deposit risk free also because that's in a bank account. Company share, you see here, there's only one high here because company shares, I told you earlier, it can increase or decrease rapidly based on the economic situation, the share market. That's why the high risk. Real estate, they still consider moderate, maybe because the demand, the standard of living and all that also plays a part here. So they put moderate, not low. Unit trust is low because it's, as we said earlier, it's managed by the qualified professional manager in investment. So that's why it's low because he knows how to manage the things better. So return levels here. So far risk level understand, don't just memorize. So far okay for risk level. Okay, good. So return level in savings is going to be low. So as compared to real estate, that's why they say it's low. It might be high actually, but when you compare to the others, it's considered low. Even fixed deposit, they still say low, although it's getting the higher interest rate. So company share is high because if the company performs well, you're going to expect that your average cost per share unit is going to let me think. Your number of shares owned will increase a lot. So higher number of shares. So that's why the return is also higher because you can own more company shares in the company that you are in. So real estate return also is high because if you look at it in Penang, let's say, if you put certain money inside, you want to buy a real estate, let's say, you actually real estate return level high. You can understand this, anyone? If you can explain this one, return in real estate return level high, can you accept it or not? You can ask question here also, like why is it high or anything. Anyone can think of a reason why or not. High value in market. Okay, yeah, acceptable. Yeah, that's why you cannot relate. Because the price only increases every year. Yeah, correct. Yeah, it depends on the situation as well. So yeah, I think this one you're talking in terms of general context, not Malaysia only. Don't just focus on mind to Malaysia. Think about the world generally. So yeah. So unit trust return levels moderate. Okay, fair enough. So this one, liquidity level, how easily it can be cashed out. If savings and fixed deposit, you can get your money back easily. Like you want to withdraw your money is quite easy. Company shares, moderate, okay, you still can get, but not as much as these two. But real estate, you see, is low. Because usually you cannot cash out the real estate that easily because as we know, the price is also high. And usually you will pay to installment also if you want. You won't just like directly take out your cash and buy the real estate. So it's not that easy. Unless you have a lot of money, of course. Usually they will use installment method. Same like your car also actually. So yeah, you need to pay to monthly installment. So that's a calculation for that as well. So unit trust, you can get the money back easily high. So yeah, this is how you remember this table basically. So far okay. Okay, good. Any questions so far? Can ask also now. Still got 55 minutes. Anyone daring enough to ask question? Like you have questions on the table here, so you can ask like any part. Not really, okay. So this one actually basically you just need to understand it only lah. And if it comes out also it's objective only, so it's nothing much here actually. So just a general knowledge for you. The next one, so your turn now, everyone. So pick your questions again. So let's see which one. Now here got 5, so you have 3 here. So 2 people are going to do extra one more question. So you all can divide between yourselves. We start with the first 3 first lah. Choose between the first 3 first. You just tell who want to do what, then you can tell your answers. Wow, just invite everyone to join, but still no one join. Wow, already say question 1 and question 3, okay? So between Jess and Kuan now, 2, 4, and 5. So you can divide 1 and 2 lah. Number 1, more risk, more ROI. Yeah, I would like question 2. Okay, so Jess will take 4 and 5 lah, automatically. So let's see. Wait. Yeah, correct. So Vishal's point actually hit the point a lot. So more risk means you're going to get more ROI, because if you have more risk, most likely your total return is going to increase as well. So if total return high, ROI is high. So that's the concept. So yeah, I think number 1, that's the point only, nothing else. So you can do for number 3 already. Question 3, can easily sell or buy shares anytime. Yeah, good. Can. Number 4, if there's no political stability, the demand for real estate will indirect. Yeah, correct. Good. So for just 1, another suggestion is the real estate price usually increases but rarely falls, because the demand usually is going to increase as long as the amount of people staying in that area increase, which is currently happening because the world population increases as well. So the demand is going to increase as well. So yeah. For Vishal, question 3, yeah, that's a good thing also. Yeah, so can easily sell or buy shares anytime. So another point is you say you can get the cashed out easily. So basically, is you explain what is the meaning of liquidity level, cashed out easily. So yeah. So now, wait, scroll down. But 3 parts for you. You volunteered for this one. Open your mic lah. At least hear your voice. Vishal want to help your mate, Christian. Yeah, you're not in the same class, I think you are. Yeah, so help lah. Same class, isn't it? First question is quite direct only. Yeah, correct. Good. Real estate. So part B is Justin. Son, you got three parts to tell. So you will tell what is your potential risk, return, and liquidity. That's why I always told this part was the important one. That's why I highlighted just now. That's why the table was important. Potential risk moderate, liquidity low, return high. Only for the potential risk slightly out. They said potential risk is actually low. Let me think. I think moderate also they won't mark you wrong because moderate is like quite subjective. Should I say moderate is more high inclined towards the high risk or the low risk? So I think moderate is quite a safe answer as well. So I don't think they will be so strict on that. As long you don't put high, then it'll be okay already. So yeah. So part C, both of you can give your ideas. Like here, this one is justify. Whenever they say justify, right? In any subject, also usually they will ask you. You can give two options. Either you agree or disagree. Sometimes in your chemistry or bio or anything, they'll ask you justify a statement they give. So you can say I can agree. So any answer is correct. You can agree or disagree, but it depends on your supporting points. So the explanation you give is going to earn you the marks whether you agree or disagree. So this is how justify works in SPM. So yeah, just a bit of tips. So maybe Vishal can say agree and then Jess can say disagree or vice versa. Okay, Vishal say disagree. Okay, support now. See how strong your supporting points are. What's the investment? Okay. Wow, it's a very daring move you took, huh? Disagree. Where your voice, Vishal? Shy, huh? The overall cost is much greater. Any profit gain will take long time. Yeah, good, correct. The cost is great. Yeah. Any other points? Jess also can suggest for your agree point. Also, declining prices of real estate cause it to have low liquidity. Yeah, fair. Declining prices, you mean where actually this one, declining prices? Isn't it increasing actually nowadays? Oh, cut out the declining prices. Okay. Yeah, maintain the low liquidity. Good. Honestly, I have to agree with Vishal in terms of prices, it only increases. This one you're telling for agree, right? Is the investment a wise move? If agree means you're saying it's wise, but then you say the price, with the price increases, down disadvantage. You must tell for why is it a wise move. Good points. Because if price increase, it's going to be hard for the consumers to buy. Focus on the homestay actually. This one is homestay, remember, not just any normal house. So think of a wider aspect range as well. Long-term profit, yeah, good. It can, but the returns are high. Yeah, the returns are high. Yeah, that's a good point. That's the profit lah. Basically, what Vishal said, returns are high. So another point you can add on also is about tourism sector. Because you know that Malaysia prioritizes tourism a lot. So they will attract more tourists as well. And then definitely it's going to boom the industry lah, for the homestay. This one is enough data, I think, if you heard in VM. Industry enough data. Quite a famous kalangan topic also. So yeah. This one is the homestay lah, basically. So yeah. Another thing you can also say is investment has low risk in homestay, just like your real estate thing. Sometimes they put moderate, sometimes they put low lah, but it's quite subjective. So yeah, it couldn't say the deal. Your turn, Kuan, for number 2. Who you type already. Potential risk of saving in bank is zero as compared to investment. Explain. Okay. The potential risk of saving in bank is because in the bank there is no chance of losing money, whereas there is the risk of losing money by investment. Yeah, very good. Correct. Means you understand that table very well. Yeah. Number 2. Let me see any other suggestions. Yeah, so another point you can add is Bank Negara Malaysia guarantees deposits in the bank. So usually all these things, you always go back to Bank Negara Malaysia. So they say they guarantee deposits, means they are the one that reaffirms all these things. As I say, potential risk in the bank is zero because this role is played by Bank Negara Malaysia. So yeah, there's another thing to support lah. So good, yeah, that's a good answer also. So yeah. So I think you all passed this level as well. Very good. So yeah. So next we see another part. So far all okay, yeah? I need your reactions again. Okay, good. Wow, more reactions. Next. Okay. This is the one. Cost averaging strategy. So what you understand about cost averaging strategy? So it's a technique practiced by investors to invest in shares with fixed amount for a certain period of time. So I say this was the one I was talking about, quarterly, monthly, or yearly. So this one also you can see it in your number of times compounded. I think Vishal asked this. So this is how you calculate it. So it depends on, basically they didn't talk about number of times compounded yet. I'm just telling they can put periods like this, then you can find the number of times compounded. If monthly means 12 over 1, if they ask you compounded monthly means your end value is 12. Just to relate back to what he said just now. If yearly means 12 over 12 means one time only. That's how you calculate number of times compounded. So cost averaging strategy can help investors to buy shares with lower average cost. So there's 2 ways here. One is actually you use lump sum. You invest a lump sum. Or another way is you practice this cost averaging strategy. And if you use this cost averaging strategy, you will expect that you will get a lower average cost per share unit compared to this method over here. So that's why we apply this table down here. Wait, we go to this one first. See, total number of shares owned is higher with the same investment period. If we compare these 2 methods, the more you will earn more shares, but the average cost is also lower. So it's easier for you to purchase them in the end. So you see, as opposed to buying them in lump sum or single purchase. So let's say they gave a situation here 12,000. So how you're going to divide this? There's 12 months, right? So investment amount in each month will be 1,000. So 12,000 over 12, you get 1,000. So you see the cost is 2 per unit. So that is if you do lump sum. But you see, if we use cost averaging strategy, it will come as bottom here. You'll see down here. Here, remember, she got 6,000 unit shares. But if you see here, there are 741 extra shares by using this cost averaging strategy. So it's a quite famous question also. This one all they will provide you. So your job is to find this part over here, the number of units. So you need to have this info and this info. Then you find this. So how you find this? Can anyone tell? I think it's already stated there, no need the investment amount over unit price. So that's how you calculate. So you will find how many shares you can own, where one share will give you 2 ringgit, let's say in January. So that's how it works. So the values vary according to the months here. So yeah, you see the average cost here is 178, but on top it was RM2. So you see it's a lower average cost per share unit. So this is how they calculated the average cost. Means you take your investment amount over the number of share units owned. This all total amount, remember. Because you want to find average means we need to plus up everything. Then only we can find out the correct way. So you see tips here, cost averaging strategy allow a person to not buy share at high price or buy share before it reaches the lower price. So just at the perfect value you buy it, it can give you an extra amount of shares compared to lump sum. So yeah, that's how they explain it here. So understand? Storms, you give me the picture of that meme of that guy and this thing rising up. There you go. My friend used it as his profile picture, so I remember when you said that. So yeah, that's how we solve. So good, you can relate to that as well. Means yeah, you're doing well. So next one, advantage of cost averaging strategy. This can come out maybe objective also lah. I don't think structure. I actually analyzed all the trial papers in 2021, 2022. So most of it actually the theory parts all are in K1 actually, Kotas are 2. So you won't find all this in your paper 2. So yeah, most likely you won't find it. I think even in my SPM, the one I said recently, there wasn't theory parts in paper 2 as well. Yeah, I don't recall. It was all calculation only. So they are following that trend up till now. So you can expect your one to great. So means you don't need to study this part. Don't tell that. Can you repeat that again? What? Repeat what? The SPM one. Oh, my SPM. This part did not come out in the theory parts for SPM. That's what I said. I mean, in paper 2, the theory parts did not come out. So, yeah. How many questions do you think there were? Later you see when the paper come out, they will come out with a book there, then you can try out the actual SPM maths paper for 2022. Then you can find out. Yeah, that's how you find. You can actually do SPM 2021. The books are in the sale in the market already. You can find them, the actual SPM. I think it's by something, yeah. Later, yeah, I'll send the picture in the group for everyone. So, yeah. That's a good, all subjects got also actually. So you can try out there. Then you can see how hard it was, how easy it is. So, next one, so let's continue. Cost averaging strategy. So, first one is you're able to take advantage of unit price changes. So unit price is what's the average cost I was talking about per share unit per share. So when the stock price is low, more shares can be purchased. So it's an inversely proportional relationship. So if the stock is low, surely you can buy more. So indirectly help investors to have more shares in long term. So if they invest for a long period of time, they can gather up more shares for long term. So average cost of share unit bought by investor can be reduced. So you see, because of the stock price that's low, the average cost also comes low over here. So yeah. So next one, not influenced by emotions. So invest consistently on periodic basis. Periodic basis means there is a time frame where you invest in. So the same amount of money without being influenced by the share price fluctuation means the price drop up and down very quickly. Oh, Vishal got to go already. Never mind. So just need to this thing for him. Kawa. Oh, okay. So all okay, so far? Going to finish already. After this, all objective question. Give your reactions. Yes, good. You need to hold the reins now for Vishal. So lower the risk of loss. So that's another advantage. So you see, if the investment is carried out in regular and consistent manner, they can help investors to purchase based on the current situation. So when the COVID time hit, definitely there was going to be more loss. So that's why less shares can be purchased at the same time. So that's the thing. But now we're out of it, so it should be better a bit. And avoid losses associated with lump sum investment. So that's why we want to avoid this method. Don't ever think of doing this method in the future. Always about the followed your this thing. So the cost averaging strategy. Let me see. How many more? Missing. Now come your turn for the questions. What do you understand about cost? So now we got 2 years, so you divide equally. Only 2 here. One for Jess, one for Kuan. Number 1 is quite short. Number 2 is longer. So you can take either one. Which one you all want? 2, okay? So Jess, you will start first, number 1. So what you understand about cost averaging strategy? We just talked about it only. So you just describe in your own words. Got any idea, Jess? Open your mic and tell. Easier. Not have to keep on opening the chat box and reading. It can be anything you understand actually, from the definition or from your thinking. Just short and sweet also will do. Don't need to be long-winded. Can be used to investing a fixed amount of money. Yeah, okay, good. You can add on also. Yeah, that's the keyword I want to see. Yeah, very good. Regular intervals or monthly or yearly. Yeah, very good. So always remember there's a time frame when we talk about cost averaging strategy. Lump sum is different. So yeah, that's the key. So yeah, I think that's good already. So now it's Bhuven's turn. So let I go down for you. Part A first. So this one also justify your answer. So it depends which one you want to choose, investor 1 or 2. But I think this one got only one answer lah, based on the concept we learned. No need to type so long if you have trouble also. Just short and sweet. Investor 2 is a wise investor. Yeah, correct. Good. Means you understand which method is preferable. So just one reason to support why you say that. Investor one use RM 48,000 to buy Wawasan share. Yeah, good. Means you times these two, you get a total of 48,000. Investor two use 44,000. Yeah, correct. Because this one he only use the 44,000. That's one point you pointed out. So this one is based on periodic basis. So yeah. Any other points you have? You can also talk, okay, none of this. So I'll share mine. So you can basically say you will have a lower average cost per share unit. Means indirectly you will tell the advantage of cost averaging strategy because you say investor two, right? Which is using the cost averaging strategy. So we tell the advantage of using it, which is lower average cost. Or you can say more number of shares you can get. So yeah, that's another two more suggestions that you can have from here. So part B I don't want to do. Calculation we're not doing today. So part C for you, state the advantage of using cost averaging strategy. So advantages. So two will be enough. Saves money. Yeah, correct. Because you have lower average cost. Another one. Yeah, correct. You hit the point. Reduce risk of money loss. Yeah, that means you understand already. Means yeah, that's a good answer. So yeah, this is your mind test for this one. Next one, this is the same thing. Oh my god. Wonder it looks so much. This one. So this one we are looking at different people. So they have their own situation here. So this is where we learn how to do investment actually in a good way. So you see we have three people, Incheck Zaidi and two others. So you see here, he bought medium cost apartment worth RM 158 before that. All okay, yeah? Two of you before I go on. Okay, good. Still surviving, huh? Not bad. By this time, most people will be gone already. So now we go to this one. So you see, he bought a medium cost apartment worth RM 150,000 and rental. Oh wait, is it cut off? RM 800 per month rental, and the balance he keep it in fixed deposit account with an interest rate of 4% per annum. So quite a low interest rate actually for fixed deposit, but it is what it is. So yeah. So this is his situation. So now we see about Mr. Leong. So you see, they tell the same amount of money only. The amount of money invested is the same. So he invests in shares and he get dividends. Only one thing here. This guy did, let me see how many things. Medium cost apartment and also FD. So you see, he did two things here. Let's see another person. Mr. Navin deposited one thing here. Balance is kept in FD. So you see, he also did two things over here. So let's see what is the advantages for each of the people. So we talked earlier about diversifying investments, right? So that is the advantage that people get when we do more things with our money. So you see, Incheck Zaidi, level of risk. So level of risk, property, apartments, and fixed deposit we learned earlier was low. Apartment is basically real estate. So you can categorize it as moderate, but most likely it's low. You can say it's low generally. So return on investment. So as we said earlier, in the form of rent and interest. Interest is for the fixed deposit, the rent is for your real estate. So one each for the investment. So here's the calculation part. This one I don't want to go through. So we see the liquidity level. So liquidity savings are easily converted to cash. This was for the money, for the bank account, but property takes time to sell. Means you need to find a buyer and arrange all those T and C. Then only you can sell the property. So you need the money as well, the person with the money. So it takes time. So let's see. It's okay with Mr. Zaidi. Can understand? Yeah. Okay. Good. So Mr. Leong, he said buying shares is high, the risk is high because we learned earlier that the price always fluctuates. Remember, shares is always up and down. So return on investment receives dividend based on performance of company. So you see here, the amount of money he gets solely depends on the performance of company. If this one drops, then he's gone. Basically, so you see, if he sells shares, is uncertain that he will be able to sell the shares at higher price compared to purchase price. You see, it depends on the economic situation also and the performance of the company. You see, that's the problem when you invest on one thing alone. This is what happens. So you see here, your return on investment is 8%, but here you see it's still lower also anyways, 4.9%. Means you still got a higher return. Let's say if the company perform well, means you can get a very high return or you can also get a very low return. This is in the good case we talk about. So you can outperform the rest if that thing does very well. So Mr. Navin, they said level of risk both are low. So you think it might be a good situation, right? Since it's low, but you look at your return, it's still low. Means sometimes in life, if they tell you need to take risk, right? So this is a case that demonstrates it. So you need risk in life to get what you want. That's why we need to take risk, calculated risk they call. So if you take it well, then you can get a high return on investment. So this is the key here. The savings easily turn into cash. So yeah. So understand this part? Yeah, good. Coming to your favorite part, the trial questions here. This is the last one for textbook. So this one, so now you can divide equally. So you can read this first. So two investors doing here. So you tell me when you're done reading, I'll scroll down for the other person as well. For the other investor. I think after you see the length of the statement itself, you know who is doing a better job here already. One is 2 sentences, one is more than 6 sentences already. So this is they're testing you on the concept of diversify your investments. So they want to see do you understand or not. Is it good to diversify investments? Just that yes is for you can scroll down now. You just said recently. Okay. So Kuan, you have to go with fast reading as well. So I think that's all I think. Yeah. Now it's the question already. So I think you read this. So this is the questions here. So now you can divide in between each other. So let me think. I think C two people do. Then these two we take one each. So A and B both of you can do single. So Kuan and Jess you can decide between A and B. This one investment risk level for part A, you need to talk about both people also, remember, and all the investments they involve in. You have to tell what is high risk, low risk, or moderate risk. So which one you want to take? Don't take so long to decide, huh? For the first investor, oh, you're doing number one, okay. So for the first investor, it's low risk. Yeah, correct. Mr. Rasamani is low risk because real estate. Now, how about Incheck D is one? Yes, three things. Remember, you need to read the statement and then identify. Some got 1 year. Then second one, it's high. Okay, high for which one? There's three things here. Got share, got fixed deposit, and also you have the real estate. In terms of share, yeah, correct. Share is high risk. Then how about fixed deposit? Fixed deposit is low, correct. And then real estate. Okay, good. Yeah, you passed it already. Yeah, so that's how we do for part A. So now part B is over to Kuhan. So so is one answer thing. No need to answer full. Why are you telling some more? Real estate is low too. Oh, no, part C. Economic situation started. Yeah, very good. You covered for this already. It's not just state only. So for Kuhan, first investor. Hey, be careful, not first investor. Because you must read carefully. This one only one thing, you know. This one he invests in three things. Although this one is low risk, we don't look at the risk like particularly. We look on the whole. How many things do they invest in? So that's how you decide your answer. This one, that's how I talk about the diversification of investment. You need, which is whether you understand whether diversifying your investment is better or not. So I'm sure you know that one, this answer. So you can actually directly tell your reason why you chose this folder for part B. So basically, you can explain what do you mean by diversification. Don't need to be so long, just short and sweet is enough. Yeah, good. Higher rate of investment compared. Rate of investment. Do you mean return on investment or rate of investment? 4%. This is because he invests in different forms of return. Yeah, good point. And yeah, that's how under the seat. There's different forms of investment to reduce loss of money. So if he loses one, also he still has others to back up. Whereas the first guy, one thing he collapsed, he has no other investments at least. So that's the disadvantage. So yeah. So nice timing. We have done all the textbook exercises. So this actually basically all you can find in 3.1 your textbook. So now is the time you might have been waiting for something that you didn't want. So I designed this. So now I actually collected some objective questions from your past year and also trial. This one got SPM 2021. Vishal wanted, I think. This part came out 2 questions in SPM 2021 for objective for your savings and investment topic. So yeah, practice makes perfect. So always when you do maths, this topic also you still need practice. Then only you can understand it better. So yeah. So first question we go to. So now it's both of you task lah. So now you just spam your answers only A, B, C, D. So first question is this one came out in SPM 2021 in paper 1. So just read the question and answer. This one is quite basic one. What is the correct example of asset and liability? Okay, Jess says D, Cohen says D. Yeah, very good. So you understand asset and liability. So quite simple. Saving is an asset because you gain money. Loan is a liability because you need to pay to the bank. So property, asset, correct. Investment is not a liability. This is wrong. Tax is not an asset. This is wrong. Debt is not an asset. This is wrong. So yeah, see SPM question, this one. So you see, it can come out simple also. So don't think it's very hard, this topic actually. They just want to see basic things only in your investment. So another one. This one was MRSM. It's a very recommended trial paper for you to try before your exam because most of the SPM setters are from this body, MRSM. So yeah. So what's the best way to reduce investment risk? So you can see. So spam your answers B. Okay, he said B. Then how about Kuan? B. Wow, both of you go for B. Actually, I would say, wow. Cost averaging strategy actually one of the advantages is to reduce risk loss. I don't remember, but the answer they gave actually is B, which also looks correct because if you diversify, you're going to reduce investment risk. This one no, this one no. Wow, very tight this one. I think I will accept both also lah. If I was sitting for this, both looks very close actually. So yeah, I will agree with B. I won't say you're wrong as well. So yeah, this one kind of question lah. So pity those who sat for this. So next one, Sabah. So this one was Sabah paper. So which of the following is a type of savings? The spam again. Wow, go and straight away to answer. Yeah, D is correct. So yeah, which is the savings current account. So this one they're talking about your savings accounting. So that's why current account is the answer. So shares, trust fund, and real estates is the form of investment, if you remember. What type of savings they are referring to the account that you have. So that's why current account is the answer for this one. So next, police. This one is 2022 already, so you can read this. Assets and liability. Example of assets. So they want to accept. Remember, careful. Accept assets. So you're going to find the liability, that means. Bank loan D. Yeah, correct. Good. Because loan is a liability, you got to pay to the bank. So yeah, it's a good question also. So next. Penang. So all of you on Penang, right? So this one must get correct for sure. This year, 2022. So if you have, I think your school might have given you these trial papers to try already from Penang. So yeah, I think you have seen this question. So which has the lowest liquidity between all this? Yeah, correct. A. Because real estate cannot be cashed out easily. So that's what they want you to understand here. So yeah. The next one, last one already. Wow, perfect timing lah, yo. Exact on 4 o'clock. So next this one, Penang also. So what type of account is this? Oh, wait, again, scroll down. Between A, B, C, D. If you want to read the characteristics, it can show up here. Wait, is that the answer already? Is A done? Wait. Oh, that's the previous question, A. Okay. I think you see A, you know it's wrong already. There's no such account that we've seen before. And that only got these three for you to choose. C, savings account. When I say like this, you'll change answer. Okay. This is the keyword here, this point. Certain period of time. There. Yeah. This is the one that will indicate your answer. Yeah, D, correct. So this is the thing here. So always look for keywords in the question. So yeah, I think this is the last already. Let me check. Yeah. So thank you guys. So this is going to be the end actually. So before you all go, so I'll ask, just put here for everyone who watch the video later on to like, share, and subscribe my channel on TikTok and YouTube. So I hope today's session was actually beneficial for you all. So if you want to give feedback also you can write in the chat box now out here. Like overall, how was it for you? So like, share, and subscribe. So you can promote this later on. I'll post this on YouTube, this recording, so everyone can see as well. Wow, I didn't know it was that fun actually for theory part. I feel like doing maths calculation was more interesting than this. Because nothing much to tell here, it's just reading only. How about Kuhan? Don't type so long for me, short one enough. Wow, so many thumbs up. Yeah. Wait, I must take a picture of this, the memory for me. If you all want to open your cam also can lah. Wait, don't be shy. Volunteer to open camera. No, thank you. Okay, never mind. I'll just take the picture by itself. Wait, stop recording.